We both know we don't need the candles. We both know we don't need the wine. I don't need to light up the chalice when you're texting me at night. You say you have a hangover, and today I just wanna be sober. So I say you better come over now. I feel that I could talk, but baby I don't mind. 'Cause when you're by my side, you make me feel alive. If I don't need someone better, if I won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone. You say you have a hangover, and today I just wanna be sober. So I say you better come over now. I feel that I could talk, but baby I don't mind. 'Cause when you're by my side, you make me feel alive. I feel that I could talk, but baby I don't mind. My hands are on your thighs and you look me in the eyes.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another edition on my channel. And today we're diving into the world of classic British design with a detailed look at the Golby Aquareef in its striking white monochrome variant. And it's actually one half of a Kickstarter launch of two monochrome versions, the black and white, and this, the all-white, with just 25 of each colourway available upon launch. Now I've had the pleasure of road testing this beauty around the historic town of Senlis in France, known for its charming cobblestone streets, medieval architecture, and the majestic Cathedral Notre Dame. And after my time in Senlis, I took it along the stunning coast of Dunkirk, where the crisp sea air and rocky shores offered the perfect backdrop for this unique dive watch. So from wandering through the ancient, narrow lanes in the tranquil surroundings of Senlis to the vibrant coastal town of Dunkirk, with a cheeky stop in between at the brilliant Asterix theme park in northern France, the Golby Aquareef white monochrome has been my trusty companion throughout my time in France this summer. And I'm excited to share my experience of this stunning monochrome variant, but before we dive deep into the details, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments section at the end of my vid and hit that subscribe button now for more honest and in-depth reviews in the future. And make sure to stick around until the end of my review for my signature walk around, where you will see the Aquareef white monochrome in all its glory against the scenic backdrops of both Senlis and Dunkirk here in France. So let's get started. And for those of you who don't already know, I've previously reviewed in depth the yellow and black variant of the Golby Aquareef, and this is a watch I still have in my collection actually, and one in which I plan to keep. So please do have a look out for that video if you want to see the vast range, in particular of the colourways available aside from this monochrome product set. But very quickly, the Golby Aquareef is currently available in black and yellow, black and orange, black and teal, white and navy, white and orange, and white and teal. But like I say, those colour variants have already been launched and are currently available, whereas this all white and indeed the black and white variants from the monochrome set, and these are currently available on Kickstarter as of today, 27th of September 2024, with those limited quantities available. Now the dial of the Aquareef all-white monochrome is where this watch truly shines, and a prominent feature in which I focused on my previous review of the Golby Aquareef is this quite brilliant wave texture that spans the dial, giving it that rugged, adventurous dive watch charm, but also not overdone, whereby this becomes too busy on the dial. Now the Golby logo takes prominence under the 12, and in many ways I'm glad that Craig has kept to the original logo design and not been tempted to listen to some feedback perhaps and refine it somewhat. And whilst I agree that there does need some refinement on that logo going forward, you've got to maintain that identity, particularly in the same product set. And also note 3 lines of spec above the 6.2. The product name, automatic status and the water resistant status, all adding to a fairly complex dial design but not necessarily overcomplicating it in my opinion. Now the R markers are these small patterns, white with black outlines, all applied, and in between those are printed minute markers with microsecond markers in between, again adding to a more detail to an already detailed dial. Now the date window at the 3 o'clock is discreetly placed and blends well with the dial, yet it remains perfectly readable. The date window on this all-white variant is white, but if you do go with the black and white you will get a black date window with white text. The hands on the Aquareef all-white monochrome are bold and functional, fitting the dive watch aesthetic pretty nicely. They are sword hands and, true to their name, mirror the silhouette of a sword. Now this design isn't just for show, it delivers for me superb legibility. They're white in the centre with a black bold outline. Now there's something undeniably bold and assertive about these hands in particular that perfectly complements a watch with a, dare I say, masculine vibe. And let's face it, this watch shouts masculinity. The second hand also, black in this all-white version, features a diamond near the tip. I mean, overall the hands are pretty well proportioned, very easy to read, making them ideal for both professional and casual settings. I mean, overall the hands are very well proportioned and very easy to read in my opinion. Now the striking all-white dial is complemented by an inner white bezel or rotating chapter ring that seamlessly integrates with the overall design, creating a sleek and cohesive aesthetic. Now the chapter ring features numerals from 1 to 12 with 4-minute markers in between each, allowing it to track a second time zone without the need for the traditional 4th hand that you'd find on a GMT watch. Now this inner rotating chapter ring is controlled by the second crown located at the 2 o'clock position. Now originally the name Dual Timer was considered as opposed to the Aquareef, but I'm actually glad that Golby went for the latter. I mean, yeah, it's great to have this dual timer functionality on the watch, but for me it'll always be a diver's watch and it'll always have a diver's watch appeal to it. And the white ceramic bezel in many ways dominates the overall face of this watch and is pretty cool in its design, what with the black inverted triangle at the default 12 o'clock position and numerals every 10 minutes with no complexity of a 15-minute countdown designed to that bezel, offering for me a bit of symmetry to this watch, to this watch's design that complements the rest of the dial perfectly. Now covering that dial is a flat sapphire crystal that is both scratch resistant and highly durable, perfect for those who, like me, tend to put their watches through a bit of a workout, not least shown here when a little knock left no scratches but was forceful enough to shift the bezel back 5 minutes, and Dumbo here took it around a theme park in France not noticing that the bezel was misaligned. Whoops! Now Golby has opted for 5 layers of anti-reflective coating on the underside, and I actually found that very effective when wearing the watch out and about in Senlis and Dunkirk in France, and of course the Asterix theme park, which I have since decided will not form part of my walk around at the end of this vid thanks to that misaligned bezel that I didn't notice. Whether I was wandering through the shadowed cobblestone alleys of the medieval town of Senlis, where the narrow streets twist and turn like secret passageways between time-worn stone buildings, or if I was strolling beneath the brilliant coastal sun in Dunkirk, where the salty sea breeze sweeps across the wide rocky shores and the light dances off the waves, the dial remained clear and easy to read, minimising glare beautifully. As with any good dive watch, Lume is an important feature, and the Aquareef all-white monochrome doesn't disappoint. The RT8 Japanese Lume application on the hands and hour markers ensures that the watch remains highly legible even in low light conditions. It's a vibrant green that looks fantastic in the dark and holds its brightness pretty well. Now there's not much else I can say about the Lume, so let's just appreciate it for a moment longer. The case of the Aquareef monochrome is crafted from sturdy 316L stainless steel and features vertical brushing, giving it a refined yet quite tough look, adding to the masculinity of this watch. Now the brush sides really do add a touch of ruggedness, and I must say that this case design is very classic and straightforward, with a clean rounded shape which actually dips quite narrow in proportion to the case size of 41mm to those slightly angular lugs at only 20mm, as opposed to what many would expect to be on this watch at 22mm. And those lugs, by the way, curve very nicely under the case back and hug the wrist pretty well. It's a case design that doesn't try to do too much, which is exactly what I love about it. It's just pure and it's very functional. Now there are obviously two crowns on this watch, the first at 2 o'clock, which I've mentioned, controlling that dual timer functionality, and located at the 3 o'clock position is a screw down crown, well sized for easy handling, and features the Golby logo embossed on its end. It provides solid grip, making adjustments smooth and hassle free. Now the Aquareef All-White Monochrome offers an impressive water resistance of up to 200 meters, which means it's more than capable of handling anything from a swim in the pool to a full dive in the ocean. Now it's a real diver's watch, not just in design but in capability as well. So the all-white monochrome version actually comes fitted with a high-quality stainless steel bracelet featuring a refined brushed finish and elegantly curved end links that contour perfectly to the watch case for a seamless and snug fit. And I know it's a snug fit as I wear my yellow and black Aquareef on the steel, as you can see here in this clip when I took it around the beautiful town of Skipton here in North Yorkshire. But I actually opted to review this all-white variant on the black FKM rubber strap, which is an optional extra at an amazing 15 Great British pounds. Now that's approximately 19 or so USD, or a touch under 18 euros, and that's with a standard buckle. Now this being the black FKM with butterfly clasp at around about 25 Great British pounds, 33-ish USD, or 30 euros. So both the FKM with standard buckle and FKM with butterfly clasp representing for me brilliant price points in my opinion as an optional add-on on the Kickstarter launch. Now that strap is both comfortable and highly durable. It's soft to the touch and firm enough to feel very secure on the wrist, and is sweat resistant too, which is a blessing during my time out in France, especially in my misaligned bezel induced day at Asterix, whereby the temperatures were 40+ degrees Celsius that day, and really hot and sunny. Now both the steel and FKM strap features quick release spring bars, making it easy to swap out for another strap should you wish to mix things up. Now inside the Aquareef beats a reliable NH35A automatic movement known for its durability and accuracy, 24 joules, 21,600 bph, 41 hours of power reserve, hacking, and this movement is a solid choice and a dependable workhorse movement for me, in my opinion, that will keep ticking for years with minimal maintenance, which is exactly what you want from a diver's watch. And that movement is contained behind this screw down exhibition caseback with some bold looking spec around its perimeter, including serial number and a signed rotor. Quite dinky, I've got to say, and maybe dinky because Golby are trying to fit in the G in the word Golby, whereas, I don't know, for me, a big bold Golby on its own would have had more of an impactful imprint. On my 7.5-inch wrist, the Aquareef All-White Monochrome wears exceptionally well. It's 41mm case size and is a little on the large size, I feel, especially as I've got older and have a preference towards that 40 by 48 spec, and this with its 50+ lug to lug is certainly offering a bold presence on the wrist. But this is a dive watch, right? And one that exudes masculinity in every single aspect of its spec. It may be large and may be fairly bulky, but it certainly doesn't mean that it isn't comfortable in any shape or form. Now when I was younger, my preference was to wear big bold divers watches, and this one certainly fits that bill. Now this feels a touch bigger actually than the 41mm size would suggest, probably because of the all-white frontage of this watch. Now the black and yellow Aquareef that I have stood out in colour in the middle to balance the bezel from the dial, but this is the all-white, spanning a whole 41mm right across, and therefore giving you a lot more on your wrist. Now I wore it around the lovely town of Senlis, wearing some Panda Nike Air Force Ones, and also down the town of Dunkirk, and it certainly felt like it complemented those trainers in particular, shorts and a tee, so fitted very well in my casual attire. The Golby Aquareef All-White Monochrome is available on Kickstarter for 280 Great British pounds. Now that's approximately 368 USD or 332 euros, which, considering the quality of the materials, for me the robust movement and the striking design, I think this watch offers brilliant value for money. and there's a 12-month warranty included, which adds an extra layer of peace of mind. For all things considered, the Golby Aquareef All-White Monochrome is an absolute gem for any watch collection, especially for those who appreciate a true man's watch that's both thoughtfully designed and robustly built. Now, I've thoroughly enjoyed having it on my wrist whilst wandering the storybook streets of Senlis and taking in the rugged charm of Dunkirk's coastline. The watch blends bold design, rock-solid build quality and everyday practicality into a package that's as versatile as they come, a real Garda piece. It moves effortlessly from the cobblestone alleys of a historic French town to the adventure-ready shores where it's right at home, ready to tackle any coastal escapade. So if you're in the market for a modern dive watch that strikes the perfect balance between style and substance, the Golby Aquareef All-White Monochrome might be just your new favourite companion.
Whoa, nobody's in the tree. No, I was just like, I just heard you guys talking and I was like.
It's said to go there, but there's nothing there. Do you want me to show you what's there? Yeah, I think it might be open. I'll go over.
Faudrait quelqu'un pour nous rassurer.
If you like this review, why not take a look at my original Golby Aquareef review, which includes the full walk around of Skipton here in North Yorkshire. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.